Vasudeva. Verse 20.
24.
That's it?
Yes.
Vasudeva
Vasudeva
Upashrutya
Apashrutya
Bhataram
Bhataram
Nandam
Nandam
Agatam
Agatam
Gyatvam
Gyatva
Datakaram
Datakaram
Ragye
Ragye
Yayo
Yayo
Tadavamochanam
Tadvamochanam
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Brataram Nandamagatam
Bhataram Nandagatam
Brataram Nandagatam
Bhataram Nandagatam
Gyadvadatam Karam Ragye
Yadvadatam Karam Ragye
Gyadvadatam Gyadvadata Karam Ragye
Yadvadatam Ragye
Yayoj Tadavamochotam
Yayo Tadavamochanam
Yayo Tadavamochanam
Yayo Tadavamochanam
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Brataram Nandamagatam
Bhataram Nandagatam
Gyadvadata Karam Ragye
Yadvadatam Karam Ragye
Yayo Tadavamochanam
Yayo Tadavamochanam Vasudeva Upashrutya Vasudeva Upashrutya Bhataram Nandagatam Yadvadatam Karam Ragye Yayo Tadavamochanam
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Bhataram Nandagatam
Bhataram
Yadvadata Karam Yajna
Gyadvadatam Karam Ragye
Yayo Tad Avamochutam
Yayo Tadavamochanam
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Bhataram Nandavaagatam
Bharatam
Atvadattakaram Rajna
Gyadvadata Karam Ragye
Yayo Tad Avamochanam
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Bhataram Nandamagatam
Brataram
Nandamagatam
Gyadvadata Karam Ragye
Gyadvadatam Karam Ragye
Yayo Tad Avamochanam
Yayo Tadavamochanam. Mataji?
Not here.
Vasudeva Upashrutya
Brataram Nandamagatam
Jai.
Good try.
Good try.
Vasudeva
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 Upashrutya.
Upashrutya
When he heard
When
When he heard
that Taram,
Bhataram
that his dear friend and brother
That
his dear friend and brother
Nandam
Nandam
Nanda Maharaj
Nandam
Agatam
Agatam
had come to Mathura.
had come to Mathura.
Gyadva,
Yadva
when he learned
When he
Lord
that Karam
Datakaram
and had already paid the taxes
and had already paid the taxes
Ragye
Ragye
unto the king,
unto the king,
Yayo,
Yayo
he went.
Yaway
Tadavamochanam
Tadavamochanam
to the residential quarters of Nanda Maharaj.
the residential quarters of the Maharaj.
Translation and purport by Asi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shiva Prabhupada.
When Vasudeva heard that Nanda Maharaj, his very dear friend and brother, had come to Mathura and already paid the taxes to Kamsha, he went to Nanda Maharaj residence. Purport. Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj were so intimately connected that they lived like brothers. Furthermore, It is learned from the note of Shripad Madhvacharya that Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj were step-brothers. Vasudev's father, Surasena, married a Vaishya girl, and from her Nanda Maharaj was born. Later, Nanda Maharaj himself married a Vaishya girl, Yashoda. Therefore, his family is celebrated as a Vaishya family. And Krishna, identifying himself as their son, took charge of Vaishya activities. Shri Go Raksha Vadnijyam. Balaram represents plowing the land for agriculture, and therefore always carries in his hand a plow. And always carries in his hand a plow, whereas Krishna tends cows and therefore carries a flute in his hand. Thus, the two brothers represent Kshi Raksha and Go Raksha. Omagyanati Minandasya Dhananjara Sharakarai Chakchurumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Shnapitam Yena Bhutale Yarupa Kanama Dyamdalati Sapadantikam E Krishna Karina Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Anchakarpatarubhya Shakripa Sindhu Yaiva Chapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktamrita Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Translation again. When Vasudeva heard that Nanda Maharaj, his very dear friend and brother, had come to Mathura and already paid the taxes to Kamsha, he went to Nanda Maharaj's residence. So we are here in a series of verses that describe the intimate relationship in between Krishna's family. How intimate Krishna was with Vrajbasi, and how intimate also was Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj. So, Srila Prabhupada elaborates a lot about the, let's say, social origin of Lord Sri Krishna, who took so-called birth in a Vaishya family, since his brother and also Vasudeva father, the whole line of the family were Vaishya, were people dealing with agriculture, trading, etc. So, of course, Krishna played a lot of his pastime in the mood of a Kshatriya, and Baladev as well. That's why Baladev is holding a plow. But we see that he used his plow not only for the cultivation of the land, but he used his plow for destroying some demons as a weapon, like with
Nice.
whose demon he destroyed with a plow?
Plow, Balwala.
Huh?
Balwala.
Balwala. No,
Balwala.
Balwala.
Balbala with a key.
He put the plow, he pulls him and beats him.
He smashed him in his head. Yeah. So that's one case where he used the plow as a woman,
He also pulled.
as a weapon.
He also pulled Hastinapur with his plow.
When, also, when he was in an irate mood with the Kuru's dynasty who were mistreating the Yadu dynasty,
Son.
he went over there trying to mitigate and arrange the things, but he was badly received at first. And he became irate, and he dragged the wall of Hastinapur with his plow right in the Ganges, in the Yamuna. And then the Kuru changed their mood completely and Dandavat. Because dragging a whole city in the water, practically Hastinapur was like New York in America or Paris in France. It was the capital of the Aryan Empire. It was a very big town. So it was resented by the people living, the citizens, as an earthquake. So when you heard an earthquake, you become very humble because of the rattle noise, which is so powerful that everybody is scared. So Balaram generally is in a gentle mood, and sometimes his relationship with Krishna is little with some sparks, let's say. Generally, they are brothers in a friendly mood, but it happens that sometimes there is some problem, like we see with the marriage of Subhadra. Subhadra was attached to Arjuna. Arjuna came, of course, attached to Subhadra. And the problem was that Balaram had promised a hand to Duryodhana. So he invited him in Dwarka to marry Subhadra. But at this time Arjuna was on pilgrimage because he had broken a vow not to interrupt Draupadi and one of his brothers during the year they were together to produce a child. So he had got, by mistake, to get his vow, and he was condemned by Krishna's arrangement to wander in the whole of India for 1 year. So, of course, the brothers were quite sad for that, and especially Draupadi, because she was actually he was her favorite, and also she became upset because he married 3 girls in this pilgrimage, so-called pilgrimage. He married Ulupi, a girl in the Nagaland. He married Chitrangada, it's an Apsara, and then he ended in Dwarka, where he was kidnapped by Subhadra.
He kidnapped
Actually, everybody went, saw the chariot, and Subhadra was driving because Subhadra is a lady, a little Kshatriya mood, and she drives, she knows how to fight, and she knows how to drive horses. So to the astonishment of the whole dynasty, under the open eyes, they saw Subhadra driving the chariot and carrying on Arjuna. It was never seen before, because generally the Kshatriya kidnaps the lady, but here it was opposite. They were really astonished at that. And Balaram then became heavily irate against Arjuna and sent an army to destroy, to get back Subhadra. But then Krishna made him understand, but of course Krishna and Balaram are same spirit, actually it's a word display. And he made him understand that because Subhadra was driving the chariot, it means she was her favorite. So what's the problem? So, but because in this lila, Balaram was in a way in debt toward Duryodhana because he was like his weapon master, and he had trained him in fighting with a club. So Duryodhana was quite related with Balaram, and Krishna was quite related with Arjuna and the Yadus. So at this point, we see that Krishna and Balaram, they don't, they have some little hints of quarrels because they are attached to two different categories of semi-brothers who are antagonistic. Same when Kurukshetra battle happened, Baladev chose to, like Arjuna, do a pilgrimage in the whole of India. Sometimes when we are frustrated or the temple president of the GPC smashes us too much, it's a good idea to retreat and make a tour in India or somewhere, visit other temples and see different mood, different things, different people, and not thinking that the world is destroyed because we don't rely on, or we don't trust, or we don't are happy to serve with such an authority. That's the way to do it. Better than clashing, and you see. So it's better to. Same with Vidura. Vidura, he was thrown out, kicked out from the court of Hastinapur because he was Pandavas sided, and Duryodhana was irate at him. At that one point in the Bhagavatam, it is said that he threw him out, and when Vidura went away, he dropped his bow. He was a Kshatriya, so he had some arms. He dropped his attribute of being a Kshatriya and a minister and a court, and he completely forget Hastinapur, and he went in pilgrimages also. Became a mendicant, a monk, a sannyasi. He took sannyas. Even nobody gave him sannyas, he took sannyas. So like that, when we are in difficult situation, we retreat and we meditate and we do things in a cool way. No, we avoid dangerous situation or clashy situation where the mind becomes perturbed or have difficulty to go on with our spiritual life. It's better to do like that. Another point that is highlighted here is that Krishna tends cows and carries the fruit. So this is a special mark of Krishna. Krishna in Vrindavan. As soon as he goes to Mathura, then the mood is different. He wears chapal, shoes, no fruit, but a Kshatriya dress. Then the mood changes accordingly. He already destroyed demons, but in a playful way, like with puppets. In Mathura, the frame is different. You have Kuvalapida, a gigantic elephant. He is so small, but he smashes completely the elephant and took the two, or you say
Tusks.
horn?
Tusks.
Horn of the elephant.
Tusks. T-U-S-K-S. Tusks.
And he smashes Mustika and Chanmura and Kamsha get smashed. Then the mood changes. So the Krishna in Vrindavan is displaying all his pastime, his favorite pastime is in an environment that is close to nature. Nice. And actually, if you like with a good eye, you see that the Pandavas, they are also in the same mood, because they were born in the Himalayan mountains. They were accustomed to austerities, taking bath in cold water. I've been there, water is icy. It's a whole mood of austerity that is fit to brahmachari and sannyasis, generally speaking. And the Pandavas were born and they stayed some, I don't know exactly, but maybe 8 years, 7 years, 8 years like that, in the Himalayan mountains. And then they came as heard of the empire, Aryan Empire, in Hastinapur. For them, it was a completely different world. Whilst the son of Duryodhana and his brother were accustomed from the very beginning to an aristocratic, rich life in the heart of the empire. And as a result, they were a little quiet men, puffed up, and endowed with some qualities where they took it for granted that it is for them. The Pandava have another training. They were in a very austere mood, and they were living like sadhus, or like, if you want to live like that in India, you go to Padayatra program, and you live with a trunk, bottle of water, your beads, of course, 2 sets of clothes, a candle, and a bucket. Very simple life. And you can see intimate life in the core of India, in remote village and remote holy places that nobody pays a visit because they are almost lost. Furthermore, the Pandavas were living for some time hidden after the burning of the Varanath house. They were hidden. And after they had to spend 12 years again in the forest. More or less they were accustomed to it. They knew how to do it. They how to make a livelihood here and there, how to hide, how to hunt, how to get food, they knew everything. So they were in a completely different mood, very close to the nature, which is very congenial to meditation and to living in the cosmic clock, with the seasons, with the weather, what is available. You do fire with the wood you find, you find cloth and food in the environment you live in. And we see that nowadays we get avocado from Mexico, our clothes from China. You know, it's completely opposite, a completely distorted situation where it is cheaper to import the oak from China than our own oak from our own forest. It became so topsy-turvy that it is cheaper to buy a Chinese oak than oak from the countryside. So if we read the Uddhava Gita, Krishna says specifically how to distinguish again the triguna. It is described in the Bhagavad Gita, but in Uddhava Gita it is also described. And he says that the living in the city, close to the brothels and the dancing club and the drink and merry clubs and where you drink, the bars. This is the symptomatic of being influenced by the mode of ignorance. You live in the city, but you have never time. You are always in a rush. You are in traffic jams. You do the queue for the bank, for the post, for the shopping, for this, for so many things. This is passionate life. You are influenced in the mode of passion if you live in this environment. Unless you are very strong, you will be unavoidably, in a way, in an unavoidable way, you'll be influenced by these passionate gunas. If you live in the countryside, Krishna says to Uddhava, then you are in goodness. But if you want to live in pure goodness or in a spiritually environment, you live in a temple, especially in the countryside, where you can have cows, you can plough the land, and you can have these advantages of taking advantage. You take advantage of this another kind of opulence that is more appreciated by Lord Krishna, especially in his sweetest pastime, where you have fresh grass, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, you have wood, you have clay, you have cows, you have fresh air, nice sound vibration, you have also peaceful association. So everything in the countryside is much more congenial for spiritual life than in the city. In the city you stay there for preaching purpose, for convincing people to not be destroyed by all this technology, these so-called advantages, allurement of the city, the life in the city life. So Krishna gives this advice to Arjuna also when he saved Mayasura from the fire that was engulfing Kandava's forest. It was before Kurukshetra battle. And they encircled Kandava forest to destroy a huge quantity of demons and snake-like people, reptile people, snake, demonic snakes. And they made a forest fire, and almost everybody was burnt in this forest. So, and one chief of this asura escaped. It was Mayasura. And he offered to Arjuna a boon because Arjuna kept him alive. Okay, you surrender to me, I will not kill you. Then Mayasura asked, what can I give you? I have so much knowledge about, we would say, technology, how to manipulate material element to make happen wonderful things from it. And Krishna said to Arjuna, hey, don't take this boon. It will not befit you. It's not a good boon to take advantage of how to manipulate and extract magic things from the material elements. Then Mayasura offered to build this wonderful palace in Indraprastha, that was the town given to the Pandavas this time for some time. So Krishna endorsed this and said, yeah, it's a good thing, constructing nice thing. So he constructed this nice arrangement. But it's nice to see that Krishna said to Arjuna not to take material advancement and this technology knowledge, not to even learn it, because it's a source of entanglement. It seems to solve some problem. It's exactly what we see, open field everywhere, every time. The more manipulate, the more magic and strange and seducing things you produce, but the more entangled you become. You become attached, you become entangled in it, you lose time in it, and it destroys your determination. Drida vrataha, said Krishna. Your firm determination becomes disturbed or dissolved by all these allurements sent by Mayasura technology. So Krishna advocates a very simple kind of life and concentrate your energy, your mental, your intelligence, your abilities in the minimum for maintaining your body, and you use all this energy for satisfying Krishna. This is the shell, the nutshell of a Krishna consciousness. How not to lose time in transitory, temporary things, but to concentrate on what's the aim of life, which is Ante Narayan Smriti, to remember the Lord at the time of death. And for this you have to train mind, intelligence, senses to satisfying Krishna. When you keep this in your life, all of the things will seem you dim or tasteless without any tangibility. Then you can realize that this one is illusory. Yadate moha kakilam buddhi vyatitarishati. Krishna says to Arjuna, when you extract yourself from this dense jungle, this dense forest of words, allurements produced by Maya, then you can come to me easily. It seems easily in terms of words, but in the fact, you see that the mind is already attached by so many years, eons in the past, that it's not so easy to make it into practice. That's why I say, because the mind is subtly attached to so many things. So that's why Krishna advocates by practice and detachment. You have to do every day the practice, and you have to detach yourself at the same way. You have to fire the axe or the sword of knowledge to cut the illusion. But ultimately, bhakti is independent of knowledge, but for us entangled in heavy mud of Kali Yuga, it's compulsory to fire this sword of knowledge. Otherwise, we cannot understand what is what. But furthermore, in the realm of Vrindavan, where Bhakti is the supreme goddess, this knowledge it's in the pocket, it is somewhere, but the sweetness of Krishna and Srimati Radharani were destroying everything, but destroying in a sweet way, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with sweet weapons of attracting the mind and the senses. Because Krishna is so beautiful, he is so sweet, particularly sweet, so fresh. There is one pastime that was related by Raghunath Das Goswami, where it shows how Krishna was dealing with the riches, and he was more interested in the sweetness of his exchanges with his gopis and gopas. This pastime is described in the Mukta Charitra book that explains the dealings of Krishna with the gopis and the gopas, where it happens that Krishna one time was preparing a festival and he wanted to ornate and decorate his cows with nice things. So he asked the gopis some of her beads, pearls, because gopis are nicely decorated with bangles like ordinary girls, and pearls, all these nice clothes also like that. So he came as a mendicant, can you give me please some of your pearls to decorate my cows? So the gopis, they received him in a joking mood. They declined. No, we cannot give pearls for cows. What do you mean? It's expensive. We have to go in the ocean. There's no ocean here in Vrindavan. We have to import from far away the pearls. So Krishna was a little disappointed that he was not given charity from the gopis. So he devised a plan with his friends, the gopas. There were two clans, the gopi, with Radharani, and the gopas with Krishna. So they devised a war plan to get pearls from their parents and put them in a special field and water them with, guess what? They would water the
Milk, yogurt.
yeah, dairy products. So the gopis and the gopas were wondering, oh, but there were, at this time, there was so much milk and yogurt and ghee. It was not a problem. There was even battles of ghee and yogurt in between the Vrajbasi, and they enjoyed it. We even have some pastime where the queen of Krishna, they battle in between themselves and Krishna like that with yogurt, the same way the Vrajbasi does. But they were in riches clothes, and then after they were soaked and they were embarrassed as a lady, and it finished the pastimes. But in Vrindavan, this mind is not there. So, and love and milk is available everywhere. So, little by little, the plants sprout. And they eventually gave flowers. And in the flower were the pearls. But imagine the kind of pearls they were. These pearls were super big and super shiny and super round. The best quality of pearl you can ever dream of it. So everyone was astonished, and the gopis as well. Wow, they made some pearls from the soil. Let's do the same. So there was some argument. Lalita would say, no, we plant, yeah, but he's Krishna. So they planted anyway. But after some time, they sprouted, but there was some thorns. It was not the same plants. So Lalita said, I told you, Krishna can lift Govardhan hill. He can produce pearls from the soil. We don't. So they were really ashamed because they asked some pearls from their parents, and they could not give them back. They were lost. So Krishna was celebrated for these pearls that were unparalleled in the three worlds. And the gopis, then they came very humbly to Krishna, and they almost crying, can you give us some pearls? We have some gold we can purchase. But Krishna says, these pearls have no price. Your gold is nuts. These pearls you cannot find. I cannot give you even for, you give me all your bangles, and you cannot even pay one for one pearl. So then the gopi, they find a super argument. They said, yeah, but we are going to be chastised by our parents. What will our mother and parents will say? And then Krishna, then he said, yes, you're right. I will give you the pearls. Because for your parents and your elders, it is important. So he gave them the pearls. Of course, there was also another further pastimes about the wages, how they could reimburse the price of the pearls, even they were given to the parents. So Krishna paid them to embrace or kissing or things like that, intimate, and the gopis and the Krishna were finally in a good mood, and the pearls were distributed to everyone actually. To the elder, they get their pearls back. The cows, they get their pearls. So we can see how Krishna is playful with the riches, and he even gives them to the cows. At this time, cows were with gold on their horns. And Krishna will not carry shoes, even he was invited to wear shoes. But he didn't, because he said, if I wear shoes, I want the cows to wear also shoes. So there were millions of cows, so it means 4 million of shoes to manufacture for the cows. So Krishna said, okay, I keep going on the Vraj land barefoot. That was his promise. But in Mathura, he changed, he wear shoes, and after. But you see, all the mood in Vrindavan is not with riches, elephant, so many opulence that show Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And that's the whole topic of the Ratha Yatra, and behind the Ratha Yatra, the encounter of Vrindavan, Vrajbasi, and the soldiers and the whole Yadu dynasty in Kurukshetra. Well, there was this clash of mood, which are different aspects of the same Krishna, but with different attitude of heart, different mood, we can say, rasa. Difficult to explain one translation of the word rasa. But we see that in our lives, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would ventilate this mood. He would preach for this mood. Although we preach the mood of we are not the body, we are not, then at the same time we have to understand that if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made appear the sixth Goswami to open this Prema Samputa, this like, what do you say, a chest, where chest, comment dire, where you keep jewels, a box, a special box where you keep jewels. That's locked, it's a nice polished box. Yeah. So the sixth Goswami opened this particular box to reveal the intimate exchanges in between Krishna and the Vrajbasi. So this mood is carried by the whole parampara, beginning from Madhavendra Puri, but amplified to the world of inhabitants of the earth, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but specifically by the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, that developed the initial mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of separation of Radharani and Krishna, Vipralamba and Sambhoga, separation and reunion. This is the whole topic, and there's much more. If you want to know more, you read the books of Bhu Govinda Goswami, who passed away some years ago, and he wrote extensively about these exchanges, confidential exchanges, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took pleasure in speaking and hearing about in the last years of his lifetime in Jagannath Puri. Maybe some question or comments on this verse. We read it again. When Vasudeva heard that Nanda Maharaj, his very dear friend and brother, had come to Mathura and already paid the taxes to Kamsa, he went to Nanda Maharaj's residence. So we are here in New Mayapur. Not so many people are in the fields. Not so many people from the town, they understand the value of practicing spiritual life in the countryside. But it should be preached. It's time for people to understand that city life is becoming more and more hot, difficult to stay in. Better find a small job, small occupation, but being near temple in the countryside. That's the best option for spiritual life. If you really want to put the maximum of advantages in your pocket for spiritual life, nowadays you should aim at this. And go to preach also. Go to preach, you go in supermarkets, you go in downtown, you go in the metro, you go where there's plenty people, but you are aware that these are not the real riches human society can offer. Long way to go, but it will go. People will realize, and starting to realize, that city life is becoming more and more hellish, insecure, dirty, cramped, jam, and unfit for normal living, more and more. Time is working for the Krishna's devotees. Kantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Gaura Premanandi.
Giri Govardhan Prabhu, okay.